The day my world fell apart started like any other. I woke up early, feeling the familiar comfort of Derek's arm wrapped around me. We were lying in our plush bed, overlooking the breathtaking view of the Washington, D.C. skyline. It was a sight I had grown accustomed to, a reminder of our successful lives and our future together. But little did I know, everything I thought I knew about our relationship was a lie. As I rolled over to face Derek, I noticed his phone buzzing on the nightstand. He quickly snatched it up, glancing at the screen with a mixture of guilt and annoyance. I brushed it off as mere paranoia, thinking I was just being insecure. But now, I realized that was one of the many red flags I ignored. We had been together since high school, and I thought I knew him better than anyone. We were each other's rock, supporting each other through thick and thin. Or so I thought. After I gave birth to our beautiful daughter Emily, Derek became increasingly distant. He would often work late, and I would be left to care for our newborn alone. I chalked it up to stress and exhaustion, but deep down, I knew something was off. One thing that had changed was that he stopped saying, "I love you" first. It used to be a ritual we cherished, a daily affirmation of our love. But over time, I noticed he would only respond with "I love you too" when I said it. It was a small thing, but it bothered me. I pushed it aside, thinking it was just a phase. Another thing that raised my suspicions was his protectiveness over his phone. He would always keep it on silent mode and would quickly change the subject whenever I asked him about his day. I wrote it off as him being a private person, but now I realized he was hiding something. His schedule became unpredictable and constantly changing. He would tell me he had a meeting at a certain time, only to call me at the last minute to say he had to work late. I started to feel like I was living with a stranger. My Aunt Rachel had been through a similar experience with her ex-husband. She had warned me about Derek, telling me that she sensed something was off about him. But I did not listen. I thought I knew him better than anyone. My mother, on the other hand, had always been skeptical of Derek. She would often ask me if I was sure about him, if I was happy in the relationship. I would reassure her that everything was fine, that Derek loved me and I loved him. But now, I realized she was trying to tell me something. As I lay in bed, I could not shake off the feeling that something was wrong. I decided to investigate further, to see if I could find any clues. That's when I noticed the lie. He had told me he was working late, but I saw a text message on his phone from an unknown number. It said, "Meet me at the usual place at 3. My heart sank. I felt a wave of anxiety wash over me, my mind racing with worst-case scenarios. I tried to calm myself down, telling myself it was probably just work-related. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. I decided to confront him, but I needed concrete evidence. That's when I saw it. His watch was lying on the dresser, and as he picked it up, I saw a tattoo on his wrist. A tattoo that matched one I had seen before, but I could not quite place it. It was not until I saw the tattoo that I realized I had to dig deeper. I started to snoop around, looking for any information I could find. That's when I stumbled upon a folder on his computer, labeled "Private." I hesitated for a moment, wondering if I should open it. But something compelled me to take a look. What I saw shook me to my core. There was a picture of a young woman, holding a baby. A baby that looked eerily like Emily. My heart stopped as I read the caption. "Our daughter Alexis, born 2005. I felt like I had been punched in the gut. A daughter? He had a daughter with someone else? I could not breathe. I could not think. All I could do was feel. As I sat there, trying to process what I had just learned, I realized that I am a living. Everything I thought I knew about Derek, about our relationship, was a fabrication. He had been stealing money from our joint account for 6 months, and I had no idea. I felt a sense of betrayal wash over me, followed by anger. How could he do this to me? How could he lie to me, deceive me, and hurt me like this? But as I sat there, something inside me shifted. I realized that I had a choice to make. I could let this destroy me, or I could use it as an opportunity to take back control of my life. I took a deep breath, feeling a sense of determination wash over me. I was going to confront him, and I was going to make him pay for what he had done. I walked into the living room, where Derek was sitting on the couch, looking smug and self-assured. I looked him straight in the eye and said, "I know what you've been doing." He looked up at me, a mixture of guilt and surprise on his face. But I did not give him a chance to speak. I turned and walked away, without a word. As I walked out the door, I felt a sense of empowerment wash over me. I was taking back control of my life, and I was going to make sure that he paid for what he had done. The sound of the door closing behind me was like music to my ears. I knew that I had a long road ahead of me, but I was ready. I was ready to face the truth, to face Derek, and to take back my life. I took a deep breath, feeling the cool air fill my lungs. I knew that I would be okay, that I would get through this. And as I walked away from the house, I knew that I would never look back. You know, I always thought I was in love with you, I said to myself, the words feeling bitter on my lips. But now I realize I was just in love with the idea of you. As I walked, the city streets blurring together, I knew that I had finally found my voice. I had finally found the strength to stand up for myself, to stand up to Derek, and to take back my life. And as I looked up at the sky, I knew that I would be okay. I would rise from the ashes, stronger and more resilient than ever before. I would make sure that Derek paid for what he had done, and I would make sure that I never let anyone hurt me like that again. The city lights twinkled like stars, and I felt a sense of hope rising within me. I knew that I had a long way to go, but I was ready. I was ready to face whatever came next, armed with nothing but my truth and my strength. You should have been honest with me, I whispered to myself, the words echoing in my mind. You should have been honest with me from the beginning. But it was too late now. All I could do was move forward, one step at a time. And as I walked, the darkness receding, I knew that I would be just fine.